adjusted. And what we've seen is that at least when the environment was quite hot, I remember our dear Sheikh Dr. Muhammad Hafidhahullah wa ra'ah, we usually look at the time, and sometimes we reduce the time of prayer so that people will not be put into hardship. Now, the next one is the increase of salary staff. That is the staff of Iman. So also looking at the economic reality, so we agreed here that we are going to increase the salary of our staff, which we did. Immediately we actually did the increase of the salary of our staff members, and so as to meet up with the financial issue in the country. Now, the next one was dissolution of ESCO, which was dissolved, and I think that is these are the matters arising what we agreed on. Just told us we were, alhamdulillah, we were able to do everything that we actually agreed on in the last today, that we will also do due diligence to carry out whatever you say, inshallah, we should do. Jazakumullah khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu. This is our Amir Abul Amir, Dr. Ali Razaki, who gives us a preamble of the matters arising from the minutes of last AGM. In short, in Hausa, Amir ya yi magana kan abubuwa kamar haka. Akwai deduction na members na Iman da aka yi reviewing. Aka ce a last AGM za a yi reviewing kuma an aiwatar. Mutane za su gani a Facebook su cewa an samu canji na cire kuɗi daga members a contribution. Wannan Amir ya yi magana akai as part of our minister last meeting. Akwai salary na staff namu na Iman, akwai ma'aikatan Islamiyya, akwai masallaci da ake bada allowances, sauran ma'aikata da suke kula da masallaci da kuma gininmu na Iman. So su ma an ɗan ƙara musu albashi. So duka wannan daga cikin kuɗaɗenku da kuke contributing. Alhamdulillah. Akwai kuma lokacin sallah da aka yi bayani wanda aka yi adjusting. Shi ma Amir ya kawo shi watakila saboda yanayin rana ko wani ruwa sama. So chief imam namu Malam Dukuro ya duba wannan yanayin kuma ya duba members da kuma masu sallah a wurin. Shi ma an dan duba kuma jara. Wannan kaɗan daga cikin abubuwan da Amir ya faɗa game da last minutes kenan. On this note, before going to our next agenda, I would like to especially recognize the presence of our Deputy Senior Research and Training, Dr. Halima Usman Farouk, who is here with us. Thank you, Ma. You are welcome. This is our dedicated chairs that we have set aside for you as the management of the hospital. So if you can come over to this side, I think we can appreciate. Thank you. Next in our agenda is the secretarial report to be read by somebody is raising his hand. Can we give you mic so that you can speak louder? Somebody should give you mic, please. Where is our Malaysia? Please help us give him this mic.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. The matters arising discussed, I think there is a point that appears to be like mixed. The issue of zakah and waqaf, that appears to be like 10 months deduction. But in the report it says that it was stepped down and to be further discussed. So my thinking was, it's the Iman stage deductions that the Amir was talking about, because the zakah and waqaf is supposed to be a non-stop continuous contribution that was proposed for those that intend to. And I think maybe that needs to be concluded before we move. Thank you.
Thank you very much for this observation. I think the Amir can give clarification. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. I think what the Provost Professor Mohammed Manga said is correct. What was discussed at the last AGM was regarding the Zakat and Waqaf Foundation came and met the ESCO and extended some messages which was extended to members at the AGM. What they were saying is that they believe that there are schools of thoughts that believe that you can monthly agree to be giving wakaf, something from your salary as wakaf continuously. Right? But when it was presented at the AGM, members believed that it was better step down for another forum to be discussed. What the Amir explained was something we took actually up at one of our ordinary general meetings, whereby the state Iman wanted to complete the state secretariat of Iman and the hospital, and we were encouraged to contribute 20,000 for senior staff over 10 months and 10,000 for junior staffs under 10 months, which we've done, inshallah. Thank you very much.
And it was optional. Kafin mu ci gaba, bari yi magana Hausa. Yawwa, kar ku yi mamaki cewa me yasa ba Amir ba ne yake amsa wannan question. So wannan government mu ba government Amir kadi ba. So idan kuka tambaya any question da kan kudi ga FinSec, so za ba shi microphone zai amsa. So haka za mu yi insha Allah. Jazakallahu khairan.
Jazakallahu khairan.
Sorry, I think it is good since it was stepped down, whether it's coming up today as an AOB or whether it can be trashed at this point. It's better we have a seal of whatever we have discussed. It's something that I believe is optional. And what Zakah and Waqaf is saying is those ones that want to join, they have given the advantages and it's voluntary. So recruit or give a form or something and indicate how much you want to be deducted monthly, and that will be done through Iman. It's just a conduit, a platform to allow for people to have the chance to make their contributions to the Zakah and Waqaf. And I think it's a straightforward thing. If I will advise the EXCO liaise with Zakah and Waqaf and allow them to contact members, whoever is interested, or through the Iman, fill a form, indicate how much you want, and then Iman can now provide that platform, and that's all. And maybe gradually be giving some feedbacks to give some of the benefits and also encourage others to make their own contributions. I think it's a straightforward thing. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. So on this matter, as Professor Manga has suggested, we would liaise with Zakat and Waqaf Foundation. The forms would be available, inshallah, after we finish our conclusion, and it would be available either in hard copy or soft copy as we did the last time. They will be available on the Iman platform, and we'll also move department by department for those that are not on WhatsApp. Anyone interested would try as much as possible to get across to all members. Even if you don't get any of the soft or hard copies, you can meet the secretary or the PRO, and all those forms will be collated and submitted to the finance unit for monthly deduction, inshallah. And as was suggested, we would give periodic updates of amount realized and remittance to the Zakat and Waqaf Foundation. Thank you very much.
Jazakallahu khairan. In Hausa, what Dr. Professor Ali Lawan what I've said, let me just explain it in Hausa so that you can just grab the information. abinda Dr. Lawan ya yi clarifying shine akwai deductions da muka yi baya na wakafi na states wanda muka tura aka sa za a yi asibiti da secretariat ne ko office ne na Iman wanda iya daga cikin ayyukan alkhairi aka ga dacewan state Iman suka same mu kan cewa ya kamata FTH members su ma su ba da wani abu a lokacin muka saka a platform daga baya aka cire sannan aka zo aka dan samu dan matsala daga baya muka gyara aka zo aka nemi consent aka ba da form kowa ya faɗi abin da yake so aka cire mishi wannan kenan. So na biyu kuma yanzu akwai Zakat and Waqaf Foundation. Zakat and Waqaf Foundation kuma wani kungiya ne shi ma da muke da shi nan a cikin garin Gombe. Suna da office a nan wajen kofar sarki. Su ma suna ayyuka ne na alkhairi. Suna yin abubuwa ne da ya shafi taimako na agaji ga marasa galihu da kuma marayu da sauransu. So shi ma yanzu za a raba form, za a gaya mutane a platform za a raba form wanda yake so a cire mishi sadaka ne. Sai ya cika ya faɗi abin da yake so a cire mishi wanda kuma ba dole ba ne. So wannan shi ma za a yi shi insha Allah shi ne abin da Dr. Lawan ya faɗa da fatan mun fahimta. Thank you very much. Next in our agenda is the presentation of the Secretariat report and is to be read by Mohammed Ghazali Ali, our Editor-in-Chief, the Executive of Iman. So you have the floor. Editor-in-Chief, please. Thank you. They say I should explain that the secretary of the association, Mustafa Ali, is unavoidably absent. He has traveled to Ghana for a conference, which is on his way coming back. Maybe any moment or today or tomorrow, maybe we will see him. And that is why the editor-in-chief will read the Secretariat report on his behalf. Thank you. There is some information. I would like to recognize the presence of Deputy CIMA clinicals, person of Dr. Aminu Usman. You are welcome, sir. Thank you. Also, the State Amir Chairman, Malan Nasir, sorry, Malan Nasir. You are welcome, sir. Thank you very much. I also want to recognize the presence of Head of Nursing Services, Fth Gombe, Malan Habu Mohammed, and the Head of Laundry Services. So you are all welcome, and all other HODs and unit heads present. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Due to the unavoidable absence of the Secretary General, I have been mandated to read or to present the Secretariat report, which is projected on the screens. So you follow me. Bismillah. So the Secretary begins with the prayer, which I say Amen to. The Secretariat report provides an overview of the activities, achievements, challenges, and future plans from the last AGM, held on the 5th of Jumada al-Awwal 1445 which is equivalent to 19th November 2023 to June 2025. As the Amir has said, this AGM is for a year and a half. It reflects the Executive Council's and Standing Committee's commitment to upholding the Association's aims and objectives. Here is a rundown of the names of the Exco members and their positions, starting with the Amir, the Vice Amir, down to the Amira, and then, of course, to the Editor-in-Chief. So this is the exco with the management of the hospital when they went to present themselves. after inauguration. Then the standing committees. Iman Fth Gombe has 7 standing committees. The Mosque Committee, Islamia Committee, Da'awa, Welfare Committee, Publicity, the Iman Truck, and then the Sisters Forum. The importance of having these committees is to ensure that the activities are carried on seamlessly, and the Expo gets updated report from the committee chairman on the tasks it has performed. For example, the Iman Truck Committee, as you're all aware, a truck was purchased some years back to assist in bringing water to the So we have the Mosque Committee, Islamia Committee, the Awa Committee, Welfare Committee, Publicity, Iman Truck, and then the Sisters Forum. The Mosque Committee, achievements stroke activities, routine maintenance of all Iman mosques, including ablution areas and supply of prayer mats, regular water supply and general sanitation of mosques and toilet facilities, general renovation of the central mosques, male and female, and the engineering mosque. Construction of additional ablution areas and erection of shade at the female mosque, repair of air conditioners and provision of shelves in the mosques, provision of security and logistics during the 2024 and 2025 Ramadan programs. The challenges: excessive utilization of water, especially during Ramadan, overcrowding due to an increase in the number of congregants, need for additional shades, structural expansion and parking space. The future plans: expansion of both male and female central mosques, improved water infrastructure and sustainable maintenance solutions. The renovated exterior of the mosque, that's the male section. The interior, the exterior shade for the female masjid because of the excessive heat and the sun and the increase in their number. The interior of the female masjid. So this is the toilet at the male masjid. Additional toilets were constructed to accommodate the increase in population. And this is before and after the project, and of course the old site. Then we have the A&E mosque, which needed a door to be replaced, and that has been done as well. We move on to the Islamia Committee. Complete renovation of Iman Staff Quarters Islamia. The Islamia was renamed to Sabilur Rashad Quranic School and Islamic Civilization. The classrooms were renovated, painting, signages, and then the general infrastructure improved. 5 functional toilets were constructed with a water and plumbing system. The premises was landscaped and interlocked. 5 qualified teachers were recruited, and a director was also recruited to guide the activities of the Islamia. And audiovisual aids, desks, lockers, and safety tools and a first aid box were also procured for the Islamia and 90 pupils were admitted across 5 classes. Additionally, deployment of EduServe software for real-time parent-student monitoring of the progress of the students successfully organized our classes with 56 students and 5 instructors. The future plans is to establish a section based on Western curriculum, procure a school bus, and then construction of a new Islamia block. These are the images of what has been done so far. The classroom, the audiovisual aids, the renovated toilet facility, the rebranded Islamia being visited by some members of the Expo, the Adawa Committee report, bi-weekly Nasiha sessions at the Central Mosque, those sessions where a brother comes to discuss on certain issues at the mosque, most especially the khutbah sessions, is being run by the Dawa Committee. Inpatient visitations and gift distribution. The Ramadan Sisters lecture series, the 2024 topic was Nursing a Sick Person in Islam, and the topic for the 2025 lecture series was Marriage Disputes Facing Muslim Homes in the Current Economic Situation. Then collaboration with sister organizations such as FOMNAN, future plans, institutionalize outreach to all hospital departments, develop a structured Dawa calendar and expand lecture topics. For the Welfare Committee, key activities: 1, patient support. Supported life-saving and essential surgeries for patients, 17 people benefited. Provided drugs to indigent patients, 32. Paid hospital discharge fees for 48 beneficiaries. Offered transport fare to discharge patients, 14 beneficiaries. Fed inpatients and their caregivers, 22 benefited. Funded laboratory investigations and blood transfusion for 14 beneficiaries. Supported other medical needs, dialysis, MRI, physiotherapy, dressing materials, etc. for those in need. For the staff, provided death support to families of deceased staff, cash gifts for marriages and loss of parent. I believe this should be cash support for marriages and loss of parent stroke child for 39 beneficiaries, and community Islamic support supported mosque-related activities, example grains to masjids, and then the regular graveyard clearance. The challenges: inflation and rising healthcare costs, limit reach, burden of documentation due to volume and some patient non-compliance. Recommendations: increase the monthly allocation to meet growing demands, establish a zakat/welfare endowment fund for sustainable financing, intensify sensitization to encourage voluntary donations. The Publicity Committee: acquisition of high-tech media tools, video lights, microphones, tripods, and data packs, like the camera and light you see on some of these gadgets, live streaming of Ramadan Tafsir and Khutbah sessions, airing of 2024 and 2025 Ramadan Tafsir on Amana Radio, regular media updates and archiving of Iman activities via social media and storage devices, purchase of new camera and accessories for documentation, management of the Iman FTH WhatsApp platform and supervision of focal persons, the future plans of the Publicity Committee, launch of Iman FTHD YouTube and Facebook media channels, and monthly bulletin publication. These are some of the gadgets that were procured for the Publicity Committee. The Iman Truck Committee, its activities: regular supply of water to the mosque, that's the Central Mosque, the Engineering, A&E, Radiology, and Staff Quarters, supplied a total of 164 trips for the period under review. Major truck refurbishing was concluded recently. For the bus, total overhaul and replacement of faulty components were carried out recently. Future plans to deploy the bus for commercial use going forward. These are images while the water truck was being refurbished. Still the water truck, and of course the bus. This is the new look of the bus. So for the executive committee-led activities, procurement of a laptop, printer, and smartphone for official use, subscription to Key Swift software for seamless financial transactions, keyed into the Iman Gombe State Council Wakaf initiative, joint sponsorship of 2024 and 2025 Ramadan Iftar projects, foundation laying for the expansion of the Staff Quarters Mosque, participated in the Iman National Working Committee meeting in Lorin, Kwara State in 2024, sponsored members to attend the Iman National AGM in Maiduguri, Borno State, registration only, paid registration of 5 members of the Association of Muslim Health Students to attend the Iman National Conference in Maiduguri, Borno State, provided financial assistance to a brother who reverted to Islam by paying the dowry for his nikah, appointment of a dedicated cleaner for the Iman FTH Secretariat on a monthly salary, donation of funds to Muslim professionals in Dawa during their mega medical outreach in the Bauchi State, Doma, Nasarawa State, and Mubi Adamawa State. Participated fully in the medical surgical outreach and commissioning of the Iman Medical Home, all other financial support to patients and staff beyond the routine welfare committee scope. The next image is the expansion work at the Staff Quarters Mosque, which is part of the Expo-led activities. This is the progress so far. And of course, the Expo and the courtesy visit to the management of the hospital. And these are images from the last OGM held on the 18th of February 2024. And of course, relief materials to the victims of the flood disaster in Maiduguri, Borno State. The secretary presenting to the National Working Committee in Ilorin, Kwara State. Images of EXCO and members at the last AGM, National AGM in Borno State. The challenges: rising operational costs due to inflation, increased demand for welfare support, limited financial inflow, source of funds is mainly from staff members' monthly contributions only, overstretching of facilities, that is the Central Mosque and Islamia. The future plans: expansion of the Central Mosque and the Islamia School, purchase of an 18-seater bus, construction of a new mosque near Gate 2, regular orientation of newly employed staff members about the existence of HG and its activities, gates and registration for Salatul Janaza conducted in the Central Mosque. Conclusion: we remain grateful to all members for their continued support, our elders for their guidance, and Allah for the strength to serve. We urge all members to renew their commitment and increase their participation in the association's programs. May Allah continue to strengthen and accept our efforts in His cause. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Signed, FTH Gombe chapter.
Jazakallahu khairan. That was the secretarial report read by our editor-in-chief, Mohammed Ghazali Ali, Jos. But before we go to the next agenda, I think the Amir is going to briefly talk about the report. Thank you, sir.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So, thank you for the patience. Before the financial report, but from my little experience, I know it's from financial report, that's where the discussion usually occur. But let me soften the discussion. Now, the secretarial report has just been read, so I need to give out some insight into something that have happened, even though it has been presented summarily. The key ones are that we have imams, and so we have the deputy imams. So before we came on board, yes, they are well, but then this is not on regular basis. So we felt that this is our imam, our spiritual leaders. Well, so we need them to be okay, sort of, to be able to give us their best. So now, I need to inform us that now we give them the regular allowance. It has been regularized. Now we have regular meetings with them, 3 monthly now, whereby we hear from them and they also hear from us. Because communication is key in leadership, and as a matter of fact, in social relationship. Now, number 2 is the insight into Islamia, even though it has been shown. But for those of us who were not here some years ago, you might not know the giant stride that has been made by the committee who are saddled with the responsibility of taking care of this Islamia. The editor-in-chief has mentioned that it has been renovated. We have now 5 new contracted teachers. Now the teachers that were there were such that they were not up-to-date teachers. What I mean is that they were not at par with the new innovations of the current educational system. So the committee met, that is the executive met, and we felt the need. That Islamia has been, in quote, I can say that redundant sort of, for several years ago. Many people have been agitating that this Islamia needs to be renovated. It needs to be refurbished. The curriculum needs to be changed to the current trends. So we have to relieve those old teachers who have been there for years. But before they were not, it was so bad that people that are even residing close to Islamia, they take their wards, their children outside the quarters. So they pay money, they buy fuel into their cars. Islamia here. It just to tell you that means that Islamia was in a very bad state. So what was done by the executive was to do all these recommendations that we agreed on. And Alhamdulillah, the committee headed by Professor Lawal, and of course supported by the executive members, they did a very, very beautiful job, Alhamdulillah. And now, I think now we have more than 80 pupils or students attending the Islamia, which is unprecedented. Number 2 is that it's not just that they are attending it, some people are still coming. In fact, requesting from outside. We now have people coming from outside to attend Islamia. So I'm very happy to tell you on behalf of the executive that now the madrasa can compete with other madrasas. They are just at the end of the term, I think next week or after week, they are going to do their Musabaqat al-Quran and the Hadith. So we are proud of what the teachers have done and the executive. And I want to tell you that, of course, there were financial commitment to renovating the structures, because that is what usually fascinates people to say they want to attend your school when you see beautiful schools, apart from the staff. So there was financial commitment, because you see it in the financial report. But then I'm happy to tell you that now, what we used to argue over in those days, it doesn't occur again, which is the fact that now we are able to break even now. And in fact, we are on the verge of making the profit. I think this current time, we made little profit. In those days, we used to spend money from the Iman account, all right, to the teachers, without really getting things that we actually need. So that when you see the money being presented, Mesa Nesun cash is 7 million. Then you should know about the financial commitment, and now what we are gaining, that we are positive balance. But again, I also need to also let you know that the truck committee, we never had truck committee before. But now we have truck committee because one of the burning issues that we had was that the truck should be commercialized. Now I'm happy to also tell you that when you put all is now running at a positive balance, and that is what you need. So that when you see, I think the most important information is that we now run at a positive balance if you put them to. And alhamdulillah for that. I think these are the areas I think I used to really emphasize. Inshallah, the bus that you see renovated, you can start making your plans. In the nearest future, we are also going to commercialize it. If you want to travel to Bauchi, you want to go for marriage, you know this to go to Tashan, mega Tashan is. So za a rubuta kai from time to time za mu yi announcing cewa if you are in need of any you want to contract us, they will give you the bus, then that is this current car and you are going to pay us. Now we are moving away from consumption to generation. I don't want to sound political, but then to production. That is what we are moving towards, inshallah. And this Iman, by the grace of Allah, is going to continue to progress and will take us to a very enviable, inshallah, height. I think the financial, inshallah, I'll give it to.
Alhamdulillah, mashallah, that is our Ali Abdul Amir, Dr. Ali Razaki, who highlighted the report we have just presented. At this point in time, without wasting much of our time, we are going to give us his report or an update. Financial Secretary, you have the floor. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي امري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي اما بعد. This is the financial report from November 2023 to July 13, 2025. Okay. The total income, which includes donation, members' dues, the donation from the deduction from freedom of Muslim nurses and midwife, then the jubilees, the Iman staff Waqaf, the Tanka and the Islamia, which would amount of 76,412,636.49 kobo. That's our total income. Then the total expenditure, that's the cash flow, which also includes the welfare account, which is at the Jaiz Bank, the Al-Ihsan Cooperative Multipurpose, the Forum of Nurses, the Jubilees. They do contribute. We do the deductions from source, but monthly we remit the amount to the association's account. That's the Forum of Nurses and Midwife, then the Jubilees account, then also the State Waqaf. You can see the figures. I can just read them in summary, as the Secretary has already presented the pictures of the activities carried on, and you cannot see those pictures without spending the money on them. So the welfare staff account, we rented 2,220,600. Our cooperative Al-Ihsan, we remitted, our monthly dues is 50,300 naira. So we have a balance of 3.3 million in Al-Ihsan. The Forum of Nurses, we remitted 4,253,000 naira. The Jubilees, we remitted 1,443,200 naira. The Dawah Committee, 1,384,000 naira. Our communications and ICT, we remitted 1 million. We spent 1,440,500 naira. Our Iman bus, we refurbish it with the amount of 1,161,600 naira. All masjids, which includes the staff, the main masjid, female masjid, staff quarters, engineering, even the laundry, we supply them with mats. The amount spent is 5,662,900 naira. Our water tanker, the sales of water money generated in cash is 4,150,162.67 naira. The money generated in kind, we have about 166 trips it brought water to the masjid, amounting to 4,913,567 naira. The total money generated both in kind and cash is 9,063,000 naira, 734 naira. Then the expenditure, which includes the overholding, the monthly services, then the minor and major repairs, which expenditure is 7,622,300 naira. The profit is 5,572,700, but we report it at the cost of 4,131,300 naira. We have the profit of 1,441,434 naira. That's for the tanker. So, if not because of the refurbishing we made, we could have the profit of 5 million naira. But we have 1 million in the profit as cash at kind, including cash and kind. Because if you go there without water in the masjid, 10 minutes, you can't be able to enter. We just got problem last just 2-3 weeks for the toilet, but we have prepared it. We have some issues, but it's already taken care of. Then the welfare committee, the report has already been presented. So the amount spent was 3,180,115 naira. Then assistance that's supposed to support. There is a support that the welfare committee cannot accommodate. So it has to come to the executive for them to deliberate and assist. 1,740,000 naira was spent. Ramadan expenses, which include 2024 and 2025 Ramadan expenses, 4,958,000. Then special interest, which requires any emergencies that the money is kept with the treasurer. They just inform the Amir, the right, then the Amir will approve will direct the treasurer to release the funds, 2,400,000 naira. Then salaries and allowances, 6,069,000 naira, 800. Then the secretariat, 1,047,000 naira, 333 naira. Then the graveyard, 188,000 naira. Then the 2024 AGM, which took place in Kanem-Borno, 1,200,500 naira. Then the reform of road deduction, which includes the reform of workout for the first deductions and deduction for non-members, 2,694,600 naira. Then we remitted 1,921,200 naira to the state imam. The state chair, the state Amir is here, and he can testify for that. Then the Islamia, as shown in the presentation, we remitted 7,858,200 naira to the Islamia committee. Then this AGM we are holding today, 2024 and 2025. In 2024 we did the OGM, and in 2025 we are holding the annual general meeting, which got to 4,906,100 naira. Then bank charges 477. To have the balance, the total income 76,412,636 naira 49 kobo, and the expenditure is 64,354,272 naira 17 kobo. We have the balance at hand. Well, the accountant said at hand, not at bank. 11,958,364 naira 32 kobo. Then the staff welfare account, which is domiciled at the Jaiz Bank account. The total money remitted to the account is 2,717,705 naira 48 kobo. The total expenditure is 2.2 million 600,000. Our balance at the Jaiz welfare account is 497,105 naira 48 kobo. That's the financial report for the year 2024, November to July 13th.